Yeah, but then I need to do this before we do the public hearing anyways. Yeah. You sent everybody, or Michael sent everybody emails, or you did, I think, Marge?
Sandy did.
Okay,
yeah.
but I think I just printed it out for the Alderman. Did you get a copy of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have
We
a
did.
copy.
Okay. Can we call a roll call on the committee of the whole meeting?
Lennon,
Here.
Roywood,
Here.
Leisure,
Here.
Bate,
Here.
Pabon,
Here.
Ruiz,
Here.
Arenella,
I make a motion to excuse.
Carmichael.
Here.
Now you make the motion.
I make a motion to excuse Alderman Aronella.
Second.
Motion by Leisure, seconded by Ruiz to excuse Alderman Arenella. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, before we start the public hearing, on your desks, we put this emergency authorization for purchase. Apparently, back in July of 21, we put a request, the police department put a request for 5 vehicles. The one vehicle that we're having a problem with is the prisoner transport vehicle. Apparently, the company that is making them is no longer making them. So in March, Ford halted, and this was done through the competitive bidding through the Northwest Municipal Conference. In March, Ford halted any further orders of these vehicles. They can't get the parts, it's too expensive, whatever it might be. The police department researched several different areas. They found one in Hawk Ford of Oak Lawn. That's actually $20,000 what they actually put in before. The problem is the repair to the current transport would be more than that, and it probably wouldn't last that long anyways, because it's on its last leg. So what they're asking us to do is approve the purchase for Hawk Ford of Oak Lawn for $56,839.24, so that they can get it, because they have to get it immediately. The other 3 places that had it were well into like $70,000. I think the letter explains that completely. I know you might not, I know Marge or Sandy sent out an email, so you should have had an opportunity to read it. So tonight, we're just asking for a straw poll vote to allow them to purchase the, from Hawk Ford of Oak Lawn, the prisoner transport vehicle at the amount of $56,839.24. Any questions? On the straw poll vote, Alderman Lennon?
Yes.
Alderman Roywood?
Yes.
Alderman Leisure?
Yes.
Alderman Fate?
Yes.
Alderman Pallone?
Yes.
Alderman Ruiz?
Yes.
Alderman,
Carmichael.
sorry.
You were gonna say Aronella, weren't you?
His haircut stunned me. Alderman Carmichael?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll bring that up for an official vote at the next meeting, but at least I could tell them to go ahead, otherwise they're gonna lose the vehicle. Okay, so we have a public hearing on the zoning text amendment, which actually is in your zoning packet, in your council packet under H1. All we're looking for is to change the zoning for this area. There's no definite proposed usage, nothing like that, and there's a lot of stuff out there about what's going to go there. There are no final plans in, we have no idea. We do have an idea of what they might want to put there, but nothing's been approved, nothing's gone forward. We discussed it with the BDC. Lance Molina from the zoning board actually put the ordinance together, and he's also the one that put the notice out. Did you get a copy of the notice, Marge?
Yes, Mayor, just for the record, I received a copy of the certificate of publication showing that it was, that the notice was published in the Sun-Times on August 9th, and then our office received a notice of public hearing, which we posted here at City Hall on August 18th.
Okay. So Dave, did you want to explain exactly what this text amendment does?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've got a copy of a zoning map here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll just pass it out to both sides. The properties that are being affected, we know it as the ComEd substation, Pillars building, and then this building at the what we'll call at the point at 3100 Ridgeland. Those are the 3 properties that would be being rezoned from industrial to Depot District C3. The important thing to note here is if these existing properties were to actually be used as industrial properties, they would functionally be not suitable for an industrial use at those locations. However, by doing the C3 zoning, it would make it more appropriate and contiguous to those properties that are to the west along Stanley, and help a more unified development occur. If you were to take a look,
Please turn off your phones.
That was actually me calling him.
thanks for taking a hit for it. This next one that I'm passing out, this is what the industrial district standards are. And then I'll pass out what the C3 standards are. And I did this in this format so that you could really just take a look at it and do a comparison yourself. You can see the setback requirements are different. And then the last one that I'm going to pass out is the use table. And the use table is important because that says what's allowable in the I district and what's allowable in the C3 district. And what you would find, unfortunately, if 3100 Ridgeland was to, or even the Pillars building was to be modified and used for an industrial purpose, typically industrial buildings don't put a lot into it because they're looking at a shell typically. They're looking for 4 walls and a roof to operate. And the type of uses that then would be suitable at those locations would be something more of a machinery type operation, which would be a heavier use of labor within that area. And in terms of the attractiveness of those structures, generally aren't there and wouldn't enhance the existing images that we know on the facades of those structures. So I think the desire on the change of zoning to the see-through is really to make it more compatible and also make it that this area can transition more smoothly. No property, single property, can be rezoned by itself for zoning. We would call that spot zoning. So if we only looked at taking 3100 Ridgeland and making it C3, it would then stand by itself, and by zoning law would not be appropriate to go ahead and do. So making it a contiguous area of zoning, allowing flexibility to happen. That is not to say that any drawing that we've seen, even one put forward by the property owner 3100 Ridgeland, would be allowed to be built. It will still have to meet the setback requirements that exist out there, and all those standards, to include parking, to include use. So I wanted to put that out. So what you're really acting on this evening would be changing the zoning and only the zoning, and any proposal would then have to adhere to that zoning change or seek relief through the Zoning Board of Appeals under a variation or potentially a special use depending on what's being done.
Yes, David, I just had a clarification because the ordinance is written specifically for 3100 South Ridgeland. So would that encompass those other 2 parcels that you're talking about?
No, I thought the intent was supposed to be that we were going from the ComEd substation all the way over to 3100.
The title says to rezone property at 3100 South Ridgeland Avenue from industrial zoning to C3 depot mixed use.
Yeah, I would be recommending,
Where is the ComEd building exactly?
it's a transfer yard. It's a substation. It's on the side of the Pillars building.
It's by the police,
From the police
police
department.
station.
Right across from the police station.
Oh,
Like with
that
the-
kind of, that V-shaped.
Yeah,
area?
it should be, it actually should be those 3 properties, Mr. Mayor, so.
All right, so well then,
Have to modify it?
first of all, what I would suggest then is that we defer this, send it back to Lance to have him include those other properties so it's uniform throughout the whole district. And then we can bring it back in next meeting. But at this point, if there's any questions regarding what you're voting on, please ask them now.
It won't be able to come back to the next meeting because you got a notice requirement. So it'll come back in a month, but
A notice requirement for
it's got a
the
publication
other
requirement.
properties? The notice only has the one property, Marge?
Yes,
Okay. All right, so we'd have to do that. Okay.
So your map's correct, but the notice is not correct. The map that you gave us is correct because it lists.
Well, the
3.
ordinance apparently is not correct.
Exactly.
It only has
so
the
that-
one
yep,
property, correct?
Okay.
So is that the only area left in the depot district that you would need to convert? Or are there other areas?
No,
that
if you
we
take a
should-
look at the zoning map that you have there, you can take a look yourself. You'll see it's those 3 properties that comprise the industrial district there.
Out of the whole depot area, that's.
So I guess
It's
if
that
the-
very small lavender,
Kind of triangle.
triangle.
Kind of a triangle
right
look,
at the tip of, yeah, Stanley and,
Everything else there is C3. Oh, okay.
Mayor, I was checking the legal notice, and it is only specific to 3100 South Ridgeland.
Okay, so again, I don't think we need another public hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, as long as we make it known at this public hearing that we're gonna defer this for 30 days to redraft the ordinance to include all those properties that are not in uniform with the C3 area. And then we could bring it back to council for the vote on, just on the agenda, am I correct?
Yeah, I would defer that to legal counsel then.
Well, we'll talk to Lance Molina.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I think it would be good to know if we have concurrence on the board to continue to pursue this.
right, right. Is everybody okay with changing the 3 properties that Dave spoke about to C3, the mixed use, the C3, what are we labeling it? Commercial
C3 Depot District?
Depot District?
Yes.
Alderman Lennox? Alderman
Yes.
Roywood?
Yes.
Alderman Leisure?
Yes.
Alderman Fate?
Yes.
Alderman Pavone?
No, I just have concerns as to what will be put there afterwards, and I know that this is not what we're voting on right now, but I think that that leaves this space open to maybe development that I wouldn't be in support of, so I'll say no.
Okay. Alderman Ruiz?
Yes.
Alderman Carmichael?
No.
Okay, so we'll bring it back. I'll talk to Lance Molina, and we'll bring it back. So when each one comes up, please defer it for 30 days. Okay, any other questions? If not, then we have nothing else for our open committee of the whole. So I'd ask for an adjournment, please.
So moved?
Ruiz by Lennon, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. See you back at 8 o'clock. Now the camera will be running the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I've had it in reverse.
I mean, we just.
Yeah, so here's the thing, we put it on there, we were going to initially just say, hey, it's a rain date, who really cares? Except that that's the same date as the Route 66, big event, right?
Yep.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and this block is just one block south going north. So it's really not a big deal, because the north end of the street's gonna be blocked off anyway.
Right, the north,
So-
right, exactly.
But we, it was so confusing that it got put on the agenda, so,
Are you staying or are you going with Dan? What are you doing?
I motion to approve the, add the
Oh,
rain
there you
date.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, we're sitting here.
and then we'll call them and let them know that they can do it. I don't really see a problem because the street is already,
Wanna go downstairs?
no.
Wanna go downstairs?
I mean, it's already
Can
gonna
you
be
do stairs?
affected by the,
Can you do stairs? Huh? Can you do stairs?
sure.
If I take you downstairs?
There was one other thing that we had to talk about.
Can you? Oh, you give it to me, Paul. Good boy. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble when I get home. I'm gonna get in trouble when I get home. Can we go downstairs, or should we stay here? Should we stay here? Oh,
Yeah, I smoke way too much.
you smoke?
Oh, I smoke, not anymore.
Oh,
No,
God,
I smoke.
how long has it been?
I haven't smoked since my son, who's now 23.
Oh, I
pass this one, and then we'll come back with another one for the other two properties, yeah?
Hi, Robert.
You wanna know what time it is? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm ready to go as soon as she says that, yeah. There she is. It's all right. Clerk Paul, can we call the council meeting to order, please?
Lennon.
Here?
Boywood.
Here.
Leisure.
Here.
Tate.
Here.
Pabon.
Here.
Ruiz.
Here.
Aaronella. Carmichael.
Here.
7 present, Mayor.
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Alderman Arenella.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We could please keep in our thoughts and prayers the men and women we have on the street tonight. Thank you. Anybody who wishes to address the open forum, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address. Could you make sure that mic's on, please?
It's not.
Is it green?
It is green?
Okay.
Excellent. My name is Ann Wilmore, First Ward, 3528 Wisconsin Avenue, and this is Martha Chiplis.
First Ward
Okay,
on Clinton Avenue.
Clinton Avenue. And I have a letter I'd like to read. Our names are Ann Wilmore and Martha Chiplis, both residents of the First Ward. We are members of the Berwyn Tree Canopy Initiative, also known as BTCI, a group of Berwyn residents committed to increasing the tree canopy in Berwyn. We and other residents representing BTCI have come before the City Council multiple times since our founding last year with concerns about the City of Berwyn's tree care and management and repeated requests that Berwyn increase the budget for tree planting. Because of this, we want to express our pleasure at seeing the recent amendment to the city's tree ordinance, which was passed last month. We are glad to see some of our priorities written into the ordinance, including having an approved urban forestry plan, having an arborist on staff who will oversee any tree care that is performed by contractors, and maintaining a current inventory of publicly owned trees. The ordinance mentions requiring a tree permit for any work that will impact a tree. Presumably, this includes planting a tree. We hope that this permit does not involve a fee, since that would be an unfortunate disincentive for homeowners to plant trees. But overall, we are impressed with the steps that you're taking to help preserve, protect, and grow our urban forest. So thank you for recognizing the importance of Berwyn's tree canopy. I'd like to pass it to Martha.
Can I have a copy of that letter though, so I can check into what you asked about?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we also have some flyers that we'd like to be passed out to
Okay.
everyone on the council. We are also excited to share the news that last month, the Berwyn Tree Canopy Initiative was approved for an Open Lands 2022 Tree Planters Grant. The grant will provide 30 trees to be planted in Berwyn parkways between Roosevelt and 16th Street on and around Ridgeland Avenue this fall. Open Lands is a non-for-profit organization that has been protecting natural spaces in our region since 1963. In recent years, they have worked with communities to plant thousands of trees in Chicagoland through their tree planter grants. Over the past several weeks, members of our group, the Berwyn Tree Canopy Initiative, have gone door to door visiting homes on Elmwood, Ridgeland, and Kyler in the 5th, 6th, and 8th wards. 30 residents have agreed to have trees planted in their parkways. We found many residents enthusiastic about the prospect of a tree in their parkway. Our planting day will be Saturday, October 15th, when residents, BTCI members, and certified tree keeper volunteers will come together to plant 30 trees. The trees will be 7 to 12 feet tall, and all of them are species that will be tall canopy trees at maturity, selected to thrive where they are planted. We thank Public Works Director Bob Schiller and City Arborist Frank Covello for agreeing to coordinate with Open Lands to obtain the necessary permits and other logistics. Berwyn has lost many trees in the past decade, and we hope that you are as enthusiastic as we and many of your constituents are at this opportunity to plant more trees in Berwyn. We look forward to the new Berwyn city budget, increasing tree planting in Berwyn, and reflecting the values as written in the new tree ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the audience wish to address open forum? Alderman, anything for open forum?
I would just like to remind everybody that this Saturday is the 30th annual Route 66 Car Show. It starts at 7 a.m. and it goes to about 4 p.m. On Ogden Avenue.
Okay, anybody else?
I have something. So at the last council meeting, there was some confusion of why there is not an L in Berwyn. It took a couple of minutes to find all the facts at chicago-l.org. The first L train began operation in Chicago on June 6, 1892. It was then called the Chicago and South Side Rapid Transit Railroad. The system went through many changes and various owners over the years. Early on, the Douglas Park or Pink Line began to extend west to the western end of the city. In 1907, the Douglas Park line was extended to 48th Avenue. That was the first stop outside of the city of Chicago on this line. In 1910, the line extended to Laramie Avenue. By 1915, it extended to Austin. The final stretch to Oak Park Avenue in Berwyn opened 9 years later in 1924. Property was also purchased to extend the line to Harlem Avenue at that time, but it was never built on. In 1924, the Chicago Rapid Transit Company took over the L system and held it without much change until the Chicago Transit Authority took over the operation in 1947. At that time, as part of their plan to economize, streamline, and speed up service on the Douglas branch, they proposed abandoning service west of Cicero Avenue. Now, the CTA did eventually modify that plan to retain a few of the stations that go beyond Cicero Avenue, but they moved their furthest western stop to 54th Avenue. And the Chicago Transit Authority planned to cut all service west of that on December 9, 1951. However, the suburbs of Cicero and Berwyn obtained a court injunction to stop them from abandoning the service west of 54th Avenue. Temporarily, the L service continued into Berwyn while the issue made its way through the courts. However, by 1952, the issue had been resolved in the CTA's favor, and on February 3, 1952, the Douglas Park service west of 54th Avenue was abandoned forever, including the destruction of all the tracks and of the Oak Park station. The line was then substituted with a bus service, and that is why there is not an L service in Berwyn today.
So that all happened before I was born, so I didn't have anything to do with it.
No, you did not.
Okay.
And I would like to give a copy of this to the clerk to keep it in the record so that we have it.
Any other aldermen have anything for open forum? Treasurer?
Yes, Mayor. I just wanted to announce that the Berwyn Park District, in partnership with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, is going to have the Monarch Festival September 10th at Prosca Park. Join us in celebration of the Hispanic Heritage Month. Enjoy great traditional food, live music, and shop local. And also, it's going to be amazing because it'll provide community resources and services, all in the spirit of bringing awareness to the monarch conservation. The migration of monarchs speak to the survival, transformation, and symbolize the long journey that a lot of immigrants take. Queremos invitar a todos que de septiembre 10 vamos a estar el Festival de Monarca en el Prosca Park. Nosotros también vamos a ver recursos y servicios comunitarios, y la inmigración de los monarcas muestra la sobrevivencia, la transformación, y además simboliza el viaje largo que muchos inmigrantes toman. Again, that was September 10th from 2 to 6 at at Prosca Park.
Thank you. Alderman, did you have something?
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to announce to folks that I will be hosting, along with the Fifth Ward team, a civic series on the power of language and multilingualism and how important it is in our community. It's going to be at the Berwyn Shops. We're going to have some great speakers there. One of them actually the entrepreneur who runs and owns Los Amigos books, which is really cool. Just talking about why it's so important for us to center language. Appreciate the translation there, Treasurer Reyes. And just talking about why that's important in our community and throughout communities, and how folks can get involved around dual language advocacy and also just language justice.
Okay. Was there a
And there's
time
going to
and
be,
date?
it's going to be September 10th at 11 a.m. at the Berwyn Shops, and it'll be marketed all throughout, online and through newsletters, things like that.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, item C1, please.
Item C1 are the minutes of August 9th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular city council meeting minutes for August 9th.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fay to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of August 9th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item D1, please.
Item D1 is the cleaning service bid results.
I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the Assistant City Administrator to execute a 3-year contract with Echo Clean Maintenance, Inc. in the amount of $77,688 for cleaning maintenance of municipal facilities, fixing necessary signatures, and send it on the way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fate, to concur with the recommendation of the city administrator, Siava Green, and authorize the assistant city administrator to execute the 3-year contract with Echo Clean Maintenance, Inc. in the amount of $77,688 for cleaning and maintenance of municipal facilities. All those in favor on the call of the roll?
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Carmichael?
Aye.
7 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item E1, please.
Item E1 is a presentation by Mr. Hulsberg.
David?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. On your desk, you will find 2 quarterly reports, one for the first quarter, the other one for the second quarter. We apologize for our tardiness in those reports, but we were short-staffed and unable to get those reports completed. But you do have them, and happy to answer any questions that you may have after you have the chance to review them. You know how to get a hold of me this week. without any difficulty. Second thing we wanted to share is just the success of the Berwyn Shops, and thank the community for supporting it so vigorously. We're happy to report right now we are working with 4 of our tenants, 4 of the vendors there. We're looking at brick-to-mortar stores already. This is what we had hoped for, so it's nice to see that that is becoming reality. The third point to bring up before you this evening is just the Route 66 car show. I guess I can't say it enough, it is our 30th year. We have had more than 510 vehicles register. That's the most we've ever had at this point. Typically, the day of, we get about 250 cars that come in for the day of show. We won't be able to handle that this year. We'll be cutting it off probably at 650 vehicles, and so that's a half-mile stretch from Ridgeland to Oak Park along Ogden Avenue that the show will be going on. At 8:30 in the morning, we'd love to have you come join us in the parking lot of Paisans. We will be unveiling the spindle. So the Berwyn spindle is back. It's no longer on Cermak. It is no longer a full vehicle size, but we've created a mini spindle to share with the community. This is a result of part of a grant that the BDC and Visit Oak Park received for our business community along Ogden Ave. We received grant dollars of $350,000, and where that's going, it's putting a mural on a building, it's putting a muffler man, so to speak, a torso and a head on a structure, and you'll be able to see that this coming weekend as well at the car show. It's providing for 4 electrical vehicle charging stations. It's providing for the spindle, and then enhancements of our Route 66 signage that we have for wayward signs along that corridor. So exciting and good news that leadership in our government has saw fit to grant us some additional dollars towards tourism in supporting Route 66, and there'll be more dollars in another grant available in the near future. That's all I have for you this evening. Thank you very much.
About Oktoberfest.
Well,
You have that on your letter.
Let's get through.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. We'll bring that up next time. Item F1, please.
Do we have to make a motion
Motion on
for
that, or
informational?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
I'll make the motion for informational.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Faith to consider informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item F1, please.
Item F1 is the appointment to the 911 Emergency Telephone System Board.
I move that we concur with Mayor Robert J. Lavero's recommendation to appoint Michael G. Cirolia to the Emergency Telephone System 911 Board for a 3-year term beginning August 23, 2022.
Second.
Motion by Leisure, seconded by Lennon to concur with the recommendation of appointing Michael G. Cirolia to the 911 Emergency Board. Term limit 3 years, beginning August 23rd, 2022. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item G1, please.
Item G1 is a communication from the clerk. I put a additional document germane to G1. This is in regard to adding a rain date for the 3500 block of Scoville.
So I motion to add a rain date to the 3500 block of Scoville's block party application.
Second.
Motion by Roywood, seconded by Lennon to approve the addendum of the rain date to the block party for the 3500 block of Scoville. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item H1, please.
Item H1 is a communication on behalf of the zoning administrator regarding rezoning the property at 3100 South Ridgeland.
I would like to motion to defer for 30 days and refer back to the zoning attorney to include the other properties located in this area.
Second.
Motion by Roywood, seconded by Lennon to defer the communication ordinance for 30 days and refer back to the zoning attorney to include the other properties in that area. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I1, please.
Item I1 is a communication from Alderman Ruiz regarding minutes of the Parking, Traffic, Street Sewers Committee.
I motion that we accept these minutes as informational.
Motion by Ruiz, second by Pabon to accept the minutes as informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I2, please.
I2 is a communication from Alderman Ruiz requesting approval for a parade and festival.
Just want to make a small, short statement before I place my motion. I'm really excited about putting this agenda item on council today. Historically, Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated September 15th through October 15th. With our community being, I think, according to our last census, we're over 60% Latino in our community. I think it's vital and important to show inclusivity in celebrating the heritages and cultures that we have in our community. So I hope everyone finds favor on this communication to have this parade. I made it small intentionally just because it is the first one. It's sort of our springboard into what I hope would be an annual celebration that will continue to grow bigger and bigger every year. And I also put the suggested route because I'd like to confirm this with Director Schiller upon his return. He's on vacation right now, so I'd like to discuss the route in detail with him just to ensure that it fits.
Just a question, you have rolling, does that mean you're going to block off the street by street, so the police department is aware?
Yeah, so
Okay.
just because we don't need it for a long period of time, and I know that and
Okay,
it's
just so
gonna be
we can
short.
communicate that
Yes.
appropriately. Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion for approval for the first annual Hispanic Heritage Month Parade and Festival on Sunday, September 9th. The parade would start
October
at
9th?
noon and the festival,
October 9th.
I'm sorry, October 9th, thank you. The parade would start at noon and the festival would go from 1 to 5.
Second.
Motion by Ruiz, seconded by Carmichael to approve the Hispanic Heritage Month Parade and Festival from the area of 16th and Gunderson to the end of Ace and Fairway between Euclid and Wesley for October 9th, 2022, from 12 to the ending. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J1, please.
Item J1 is a communication from Police Chief Semaglia requesting to hire one probationary police officer.
I move that we approve Police Chief Semaglia's request to contact the Police and Fire Commission to hire one probationary officer from the Police and Fire Commissioner's current lateral eligibility pool of candidates to fill the vacancy due to the disability of Sergeant James Dabrowski.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Lennon to concur with Chief Semaglia, allowing him to contact the Police and Fire Commission to hire one probationary police officer from the current lateral list to replace Sergeant James Trudowski, who's out on disability. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J2, please.
J2 is a communication from Police Chief Semaglia requesting to promote one patrol officer to the rank of sergeant.
I move that we approve Police Chief Michael Semaglia's request to contact the Police and Fire Commission to promote one patrol officer to the civil service rank of sergeant from the Police and Fire Commissioner's current eligibility list to fill the vacancy created by the disability of Sergeant James Dabrowski.
Second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Lennon to approve the request of Chief Michael Semaglia, allowing him to contact the Police and Fire Commission to promote one patrol officer to the civil service rank of sergeant from the current fire and police commissioner's eligibility list due to the disability of Sergeant James Trudowski. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J3, please.
J3 is a communication from the city administrator regarding cyber liability insurance renewal.
Mayor Lavero and council, I just want to make a short little statement. I have Tom Wiedemann, our insurance broker from Mesro here, if anyone has any questions regarding this. But before we went out to bid for cyber insurance, I was nervous because I was reading in all the different magazines, all the different articles about how a lot of municipalities are not being covered anymore just because the risk is so high. Our former company that was covering us no longer was covering any public entities just because of the high risk and how the rates were going to be going up astronomically. Well, thankfully, we have a wonderful IT department, and throughout the past years, they've been putting in so many protocols, safety protocols. All of our employees have to take yearly trainings just regarding cyber training, because there's most of the errors that happen are human errors when anything happens with everything from spam to phishing. And because we have such a good rapport with our IT and our insurance provider that we have, we were able to get a wonderful rate this year, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I want to say thank you so much to our IT director for keeping all of our protocols and our safety that we have measures, because whereas so many different entities throughout the U.S. in the last few years have been getting hacked, their systems, we have been able to maintain our systems safe for our residents and for our employees here. So I want to thank him, and if anyone has any questions regarding all the coverage, Tom Wiedemann with Allianz, our Mesro, and they're our insurance broker, he can answer any of those questions. But I just wanted to thank our IT director for making this process a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to be this year. So,
Alderman, have any questions for the broker? No questions, so I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to authorize city administration to execute a contract with Palomar Excess and Surplus Insurance in the amount of $50,669 for cyber liability insurance. Fix necessary signatures and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fate, to concur with the recommendation of City Administrator Seaba Green and authorize the execution of the contract with Palomar Excess and Surplus Insurance in the amount of $50,669 for cyber liability insurance. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Roywood.
Aye.
Leisure.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Pabon.
Aye.
Ruiz.
Aye.
Carmichael.
Aye.
7 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. The consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Carmichael, to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Aldermanic committee meetings. Alderman Lennon.
Call it a chair.
Alderman Roywood.
Call the chair.
Alderman Leisure.
I will have my third ward quarterly meeting Wednesday, August 31st, from 6 to 7 p.m. at Pierre's Banquet Hall, 3237 Harlem Avenue, next week. And call it the chair.
Alderman Fate.
Call it chair.
Alderman Pabon.
We are going to be holding a ad hoc rat abatement committee meeting tomorrow, the 24th, starting at 6 p.m. here on the second floor in the conference room.
Alderman Ruiz.
Call the chair.
Alderman Carmichael.
Call it chair. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned by Carmichael, seconded by Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.